Hey, hello. Let's watch this video together, because this is a video actually that shows the reason why I did this paragliding channel, paragliding safety channel, and why I spent time watching these videos with you. Because the guy has a serious incident. He could easily have died here, but he only ended up with some fracture. And at the end, he's providing his analysis of the reason for this, and he doesn't mention the very critical point, which is the zero SIV skill that led actually to this incident. And this is actually why I watch these videos with you, so you're aware that it's not just air and it's not just the paraglider, but most of let's say of the element that decides on if this paragliding is going to be safe for you or not is actually your skill. And this guy presents here zero skill. So let's watch now this let's have a detailed analysis of what's going on here. So he's flying here, and he's pretty far actually from this cliff. So yeah, he's not very close regarding like safety. Now his harness moved up, and up means that there was something like drag on the wing and turning to the right, which indicates that there was a collapse on the right side. Was it massive or not? Hard to say, but if that would be really massive collapse, then he would actually turn less. Yeah, because that would be more so on the other side, and it's hard to tell. However, his wing is kind of like an high aspect wing, not so very high, but it's not a beginner wing for sure. I think it's a C wing from stall behavior that we're gonna see in a moment, and then the aspect ratio. But maybe it's also an older wing. Because this video is from 2019, so he may also fly a bit older wing. But anyway, so what happens is he had something on the right side, and now he's turning really fast to the right. And when he's looking on the wing, you already see the tip showing to the front, which means actually he's spinning. So he stalled his right wing, and he's spinning to the right. So it's hard to say when this small collapse turned into the spin, but I imagine pretty quickly. So what happened here is he overreacted, or he had the reflex of supporting himself with the right hand. This is also pretty common, and so you have this reflex of putting hand below. Maybe this is what has happened here also. So he's spinning the wing to the right. Now he released the brake. The wing is shooting forward. Now he's braking left hand with left hands. He spun the wing actually, so he's spinning the wing to the left. He released the brake, now spinning to the right. The hands, have you seen the hands, what they are doing? They are going up and down, up and down. This is just chaotic, crazy movement of hands. And they are going down so far that he's spinning the wing, again now to the left, now to the right, now to the left. I mean, it's not funny, but now to the right, and now this is just so erratic. And now you've seen he left the handle, the right brake handle. He just left it. So he grabbed the riser with his right hand without the brake handle in his hand. So this is a typical panic reaction. I mean, we all tend to grab the risers, and if you are really panicking, then you also leave the brake handle, which in this case actually was helpful, because then he stopped to spinning his wing. With the left hand, he also grabbed the risers, but pretty high. So again, this is the reason why this spinning has stopped. But he has a small cravat on the right side, and this is the reason why he enters. You can see it actually here. The wing tip is pretty in the middle. Which means due to this cravat, he's now entering spiral. And yeah, now he's spiraling, not so extremely fast, but nevertheless, yeah, now you can see this cravat pretty clearly. And he has no control because his hands. Oh, now he's grabbing the right, but actually he would just need left. and leave the spiral. But he doesn't do this because he's already in the panic mode. Maybe this is his first ever collapse and first ever spiral. And now, I mean, now I would also freak out. Having seen this, yeah, this is probably, there is not much you can do, like flying directly to the wall like this. Yeah, so now coming back a little bit. So, because I didn't say what actually would be the solution here. So you are here, but now you have collapse. And a small collapse, well, you have no idea what to do, you just keep your hands up. And if you keep your hands up, or in this case, if he would do what he just did later, just leave the brakes alone and grab the risers, the wing would just fly. But yeah, but I mean, he has no experience with SIV, with this type of wing movements, and this is pretty scary. And once you get scared, and it's pretty quick, you do some chaotic, crazy shit. This is normal reaction for someone who's not trained. So this is again why I'm doing these videos, to show you that you should do this training, because yeah, because it may get. And he wasn't flying really close to this wall, so he had actually enough space. But still, if you lose control like this, if you fly like advanced wing like this, is not a beginner wing, without any skill like this, yeah, then it's just extremely dangerous. Yeah, and now again, he would just raise his hand to the rollers and kept them here, and the swing would fly. But he's doing this, you see his hands going up and down, up and down, up and down, and really deep down. And now the part with leaving the brake and grabbing the risers, the panic mode, and now entering the spiral again. Would he be trained in SIV? He would know. He wouldn't enter the spiral, because just at the beginning of the movement he would instinctively brake the open side, and he would fly straight. But this is a skill you have to train. You know, there's no theoretical knowledge that's gonna make you do it in the split second you have now to react. And if you're not trained, yeah, then you are spiraling down and hitting this fucking rock. This is so painful to watch. Yeah, and now imagine you are here, and this is actually just pure luck. Are you gonna live or are you gonna die? And this is fully unnecessary, because you would just have done 2, 3, 4 weeks of SIV, and then this just would not have happened. And now he flies out of the wall. Yeah. And now let's move forward, because he's doing this again. Collapse, blah blah. Hitting this, I don't want to watch this because it's so painful, so unnecessary, so helpless, so unnecessary. And now let's see his comments, because this is the interesting part. I was able to spin the wing away from the wall and land normally. You know, I think you were not able to do anything here. You were just a passenger. Actually, you weren't a passenger, because you would just passenger and you wouldn't touch the brakes, and nothing would have happened. But yeah, you were unfortunately piloting this wing in this chaotic manner. And so wing retired, HRS retired, doesn't matter, because this you can buy. It's your life that's important, and you got, yeah, who cares if your wing was retired? Yeah, this is important actually. So you got actually fractured L1, painful, and takes a lot of time actually to recover, and you might have some complications, but you were luckily discharged from the hospital. So I'm really lucky that yeah, this is probably the most lucky way you could end up out of this no sports for 2 weeks. And now let's have a look on this, because yeah, so he understands that he emptied the jar of his luck. But his primary lesson was about paying attention to when the valleys converge. The wind can completely change as soon as the valley map converges. I was flying too close to the bench of the cliff face, which would create rotor, blah blah blah. No, this is not the problem. This is not the rotor, this is not something. This is your overreacting was the problem here. Your lack of fundamental SIV skills was the problem here. And flying wing like this without those skills, this was the problem here, and not any rotor or something. You were stalling the wing like crazy. All the time, left, right, and then you entered, you had cravat, okay, and you entered because the wing shoot forward, and this is the reason why you got the cravat, you didn't break it, and then you entered the spiral, you allowed the spiral to enter because you didn't have the instinctive reaction that you learn on SIV if you do it enough, that you keep the wing flying straight, and yeah, this is the problem, and not the rotor or flying too close to this. So this is the problem that many people just don't understand. They say the wing was the problem, the weather was the problem, but start to search for the problem in your own skills. Yeah, and this is the reason why I started this channel, because there are many videos actually that show crashes, and either they don't provide any explanation or they provide an explanation. Yeah, he crashed. Okay. But and then there are some guys who say, there was another video actually that I commented, but I skipped the section with the comments, but the guy was actually commenting, hey, you know, this is 1 in a million case. He got a small turbulence, he overreacted and crashed into things, he got into coma, and he said it was 1 in the million. No, it was not in the million. This is normal. You fly under a piece of cloth in the air that moves, and it may collapse, it may move, and if you know nothing about and you fly close to the rocks, I mean, I'm not talking about this guy because he wasn't so close to the rocks, but the other guy. And yeah, then you may die. You are risking your life for no reason, and risking your life not by flying paragliders. Although paragliding is, you know, the most experienced pilots die doing paragliding. But I mean, here you risk it for no reason because you are just not trained for flying this type of wing in this type of place. Yeah. So yeah, I got excited a little bit because this was so unnecessary, all the situation. But I was also in this position. I was like this pilot flying wing, not in the place where I should, and I also almost died because of that. So yeah, so I understand this, and I just want to make you aware. Just go train SIV, train acro, so that you're not gonna die because of a situation like this, which is actually pretty easy to handle if you have the fundamental SIV skills. Yeah, so if you liked, please like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, and fly safe and train